Look at the sun, such a beautiful day. This is really one of the coolest area of Zurich, and today we are gonna visit Dr. Brauwolf because we are filling the can of the year of the Sour IPA with the best can design of 2022. Let's check it out. We are going here. Well, people, it's time to jump in. Let's see what's going around. This place is super amazing, but also super noisy. Not the beer we are canning today. Yeah, I truly believe that this is our place. This is our place. And here is where the magic happens. Let's have a look. I mean, brewery, right? That's absolutely the one. Can of the year 2022. This is Stefan, the owner, Mr. Dr. Brauwolf, and this is Michael, the brewer. There are still some nerds here, and this is Dave, the beer that I showed you before. There's still some nerds around, but things are moving here. Valentin seems satisfied. Here the ones. It's a freaking hard work. Really hard work. The can is awesome though. Look at that. Cheers! Stefan, exactly. Mr. Actually, Dr. Brauwolf. It's you, right?
Oh, Stefan. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's me. Yeah, I'm. Stefan. My last name is Wolf.
Makes sense.
I brew beer, and I got a PhD in science, so that's the Dr. Brauwolf. Yeah.
That's super great. Yeah. Tell me more. I mean, you gave already a little introduction about yourself, but how did you come out with beers? So just because you like drinking them, or?
Of course, it started with the drinking part, yes, and then during my PhD in Australia, I started homebrewing. I got one.
Australia, that's something filling up together with points there. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I lived there for many years. I was away for 7 years. Grew up in Switzerland, and I'm back for 5 years. But the time in between, I was away. Did my PhD there. Started homebrewing with a small, simple homebrew kit, and realized that fresh beer is better than the mass-produced beer. So,
and what about the design of the can? I mean, as I was saying, can of the year, 2022.
Well, it is designed by Philip, our graphic designer. He did all our designs, or the whole corporate identity, actually, and. Yeah, it's a cool thing. It's got the wolf on it. We always had the wolf on the logo, but here it's a bit more artistic, I would say. It's really cool in the can as well, because you can have this 360 degrees view on it. You can really see stuff. There's some artsy things on it. Obviously, cool font that he created himself, and I think it's a really something to be proud of. Yeah.
And actually, we need to talk about that. The print is also. I mean, when I saw it the first time, I thought, okay, the print looks good. And actually, you were actually filling the cans. That's filling day today. Yeah. And you can see when it's cold, and then you have this kind of wet kind of feeling and stuff outside. Yeah. It feels good. And it's really good.
Yeah, this matte black looks really cool with the condensate on it. But also now that it dries up a bit, you see this different textures. It's amazing how you can print this. We have a really almost shiny layer here, but then you have the matte layer on the side. So it's really cool how you can play with these different features, and it really brings out or gives us brewers and new possibilities in how we present our product, and it's amazing. Before we had always the printed or the labeled bottles and the labeled cans, which already looked cool, but obviously this is a step forward. Yeah, sure.
That's super awesome. So next beer that you're gonna print like this, do you know it already? No comment?
Yeah, we don't know yet, but we We have a sketch circle here. Every month we invite local artists, and they do their sketches, but they also created a label for us for the last beer of the month, which was the West Coast Weizen. And I was just looking at it with Patrick at the bottle and the design, and it would be really cool to have something like that with the local artist community on a printed can. Yeah. I already showed them this, the prototype we had from this during Sketch Circle. They were all super impressed, and they said this would be the coolest thing to have their own designs on a printed can.
Perfect.
So,
yeah.
Let's see.
Be sure to invite me first of all for, how did you call it actually when you invite all the artists?
Sketch. It's a sketch circle.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
call me to the sketch. Yeah.
You just bring your sketchbook. All styles are welcome. You just draw whatever you want, and you share ideas, and you just drink a beer and have a good time.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So invite me for that, and also for the next feeling. I will be super happy to be here.
For sure, man. Yeah. Always welcome here, Stefano. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Michael, we are talking with basically the artist, not the artist of the can, but the artist of what's inside.
Sure.
So, tell us more. First of all, tell me more about you.
My name is Michael. So I'm the brewer at Dr Brauwolf. I've been here for about 15 months. I knew that this beer made a pretty big impact the last time it was made. It's been in bottles, been in cans, but I think since winning the award, this is the first time they've done the full covered can, full proper packaging instead of just the sort of paper or matte one around the outside. So the last beer was really popular. For this one, we tweaked it slightly. So I changed around some hops. So instead of using, I think there was a hop called Golden, which is a US hop. This time I think I used another US hop called El Dorado. It should bloom up the beer quite a bit. This one should have a full body, a nice balanced sourness with a bitterness. So not too sweet, not too sour, not too bitter, nothing crazy. Then what should come from the aroma is like a background sourness, but then that El Dorado hop kind of kicks in, nice and grassy, nice and floral, and then everything kind of mellows out together and you're left with like a little crisp sort of sourness as well. It's kind of meant to be a full spectrum beer. It's like really hoppy on the nose, sour on the finish. It's pretty perplexing for people who haven't tried it yet.
It's super good, and actually it's super cool because usually we're talking about that during the filling, right? We're saying, for me the biggest effort that I have to do is going to a shelf and decide what beer I want to take, or going at the bar and saying the same thing. But you are putting really a lot of thoughts on that, and it needs really to balance everything super good. And another thing that I want to ask you is that I saw you guys anyway super nervous. Kind of, there were some nerves around before the filling. Is this one a process that actually can take a bit of, let's say, nerves that can actually bring a bit more of tension before happening, or it's just because it's like you're delivering your new project, so that's why some, let's say, not completely calm and relaxedness was there?
It's packaging's more or less the critical point for beer. It's like basically everything you can do up to the beer being finished and it's cold and it's in the tank. That's kind of, I don't want to say the easy part, but it's an easier part. Whereas once the beer is cold and it's chilled and it's finished fermenting completely, that's when any microorganism that comes into contact can completely screw your beer. And then packaging is when it's your biggest risk of oxygen to exposure and light, which ages the life of the beer on the shelf just tenfold. Ooh. So it's just a really critical point. That's why everyone's kind of really high strung about getting everything just right. Because this is like the point where anything can go wrong, and usually does go wrong.
What's the difference, and how do you decide what beers goes in cans and what in bottles?
So ideally, it's sort of the easiest way to say it is that cans are better for beer, because the two biggest issues with beers going spoiled are oxygen, and cans are more like get a better seal rather than a crown seal on a bottle. Then you've also got aluminium cans, which sort of you can see them when they leak, whereas crown caps can sometimes they can kind of catch the edge of something and they can kind of pry out. So oxygen's a big one, and then there's also sunlight. So sunlight's, you put a beer in the sun for like 5 minutes and it starts to taste really average. That's when you know it's gone bad, because the hop compounds that are actually in the beer will stale and oxidize faster, and then all of the off flavors in the beer will come out more. But it's also why like beers like Corona and stuff, they can be in the sun more because they just use like a hop oil that doesn't oxidize in the sun, so that's why you always see it on the beach. But cans are way better. One, they stay colder, which is more fun, which is a fantastic thing. They're more recyclable. We can fit more in the brewery. So that's a benefit, but mostly for the beer quality, they're exceptionally better. The old sort of notion is that beers in cans aren't as good because they would taste metallic, but that's been eliminated 20 years ago. Because now it's similar like a Coca-Cola can. They have a microfilm inside that's you can't see it, and that eliminates any risk of like aluminium flavor or anything like that coming through. And if you like to think about it, like if you think of a can as a big keg, because everyone who drinks beers off tap, they're always fresher, more enjoyable.
Yes.
A big keg is a can is basically a small keg. Yeah, that works.
So people, Lab 63. How beer arrived into your life? I mean, you're doing this work and job because actually you like also, you know what I mean, right?
Beer, yeah.
I don't need to go too deep into that.
And well, we started brewing in really small scale. We did
So you're also brewing?
Yeah, we did cider. And yeah, we struggled with production, and yeah, we
Already
thought-
then we were discussing the best container for
Yes.
beer, and then we realized it is the can.
Seems like you are really knowing, you know a lot of the brewer, independent brewer, craft drink makers and everything. How do you feel? How is the community of the draft creators of drinks here in Switzerland?
We're thrilled about the people working in this sector in Switzerland. It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, we are driving a lot around, like kind of traveling from brewery to brewery. It's just only awesome people we meet, and that's I mean, that's part of our. That's why we love what we do. It's really, really cool.
So I want to ask you as well, is your fridge ever been empty? Or usually since when you started 3 years ago now, your fridge is always full of super good drinks?
This week my fridge is empty, but that's why we.
But
take some
actually,
beer
this
with us.
guy has a fridge only for beers.
Yes,
So
exactly.
he has two fridges, and one is only for beer.
No.
So
That's the way. I mean, the first question that I ask you, I think is answered now. Thanks a lot, people.
Thank you.
cheers.
Visit is over, and the cool thing when you're visiting brewers is that you're going back home with some beers. Let's say goodbye to Dr. Brauwolf, and well, people, to the next one. Ciao.